Okay, good. So here we are on the Akashic Records Unveiled, and we have our next guest. So let me share my screen and tell you a little bit about her. And then we will dive into our next fun adventure. What I love about this is that we have a chance to get these different perspectives, right? When we get to come together and share it. More than anything, I mean, we were talking about hurricanes recently and how many X years ago you didn't know there was a hurricane coming. You were just doing your thing, walking around your jungle or wherever you lived, and then all of a sudden, boom, right? And so now we can connect in the real moment, and we can share, and we can have this group experience where we all just connected. And Archangel Michael, who's all around my house all the time, right, bringing us the healings and you can experience it right now. You can amplify it. It's going into the Akashic Records. It's being available to everyone. It's sort of being broadcast out there. So okay, so another one of our wonderful speakers, Shelley, I hope you're saying your name right, Tomelin. So Shelley is going to talk about healing back to divinity in your Akashic Records. And she's a master energy healing, medicine healer, embodied wisdom coach, and a personal coach for practitioners and consultants and coaches. She's also a trauma-informed Akashic Records occult consultant, which is a very interesting thing, and the mother of two amazing humans and a beekeeper. Then she uses a unique combination of energy medicine and psychology and spiritual guidance and tools and strategies and over 3,500 client sessions. And currently she's working with women on reclaiming their feminine essence, the light within, and their personal power. So her website, Shelley Tomelin, just her name, most people are found that way. It's very good. And she's got 3 fabulous healings. One's to activate your power, one's to unplug from lack, and one is about diamond light. And these are energetic healings that call back your personal power, activate abundance, and feelings of deserving the best. And after what Erica just shared with us, you want to become that vibration. You want to release those lower frequencies, right? So welcome, Shelley. Thank you so much. Let's see, unmute. Can we hear you?
Yes.
Yay.
Yes. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, it's so good to be here. Thank you.
Thank
you, Nan. And I'm saying hello to everybody that's here live with us and all the folks that are going to catch the replay.
Yeah, and over on YouTube, we're live on YouTube too. Hi,
yes,
on YouTube.
yes. Hello. So I'm so happy to be here and hopping in to catch all of this energy and all the wisdom from you. And I love what Erica shared. I wish I would have hopped on earlier to catch more of what she was saying. I'll have to catch the replay for that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so tell us a little bit about how you came to be involved with the Akashic Records and why it made a difference and what you think is different now.
So I didn't know what the Akashic Records were years ago. I feel like spirit kind of
No one called you yet? Okay.
I feel like spirit had kind of pushed me into it. And I've had the honor of receiving trainings and initiations and work into the Akashic Records with 3 amazing women. So I want to acknowledge them here because they were the beginning of how I started my journey. And I started out with Amy Robeson, and this is where I felt like I was kind of pushed into the records. Didn't know what they were, started playing with them. I realized that I had a really deep fear of hearing the truth. And I was afraid to go into the records to hear the truth, the love and the truth that was there for me. So that was a big aha, and that was a huge healing piece for me because I had come into with so many traumatic experiences, so much pain that eventually became part of my purpose. So I worked in the records for that, and I kind of played with that. And then I was able to learn from another amazing teacher, Jennifer Longmore, and her teachings and her Akashic mastery. And I really grew into that. And I was able to use a lot of tools to clear this resistance that I had to hearing the truth. And I learned a lot about my own trauma and how much we carry shock and trauma and injury in our bodies, in our fields, in our chakras, in our mental body, our emotional body. And so I love working in the records. I always work through everything myself, like going to the deepest. That's part of my training as a energy medicine healer, is going deep and understanding the process and understanding all the work through myself, so I know how it plays out for me. And I found I was able to do a lot of amazing clearings and cleanup, especially of the energetic imprints of trauma and shock and injury to ourselves that affect us, that affect our energy, our life force energy, how much life force energy comes into our body, how much energy we can hold in our body. It affects the way we express ourselves, as the soul loves to express through the chakra system. So, cleaning up all those oaths and vows and contracts that we made to, dull our light or not shine fully, or share our gifts. So that's how I got into the records, and I've been finding that I've been diving deeper, and new things are coming in, new tools, downloads of how I can use the records with people. I feel it's such an amazing tool to have in our own toolbox for ourselves, for people, and especially as also as healers, as we do this work for other people. I love empowering people so that they have a lot of tools in their own toolbox. I've always believed in that. I always felt that we never got these toolboxes, when we were kids or in school. And this is what I love about mystery schools, as I attended one myself, is that the tools were a plethora of tools that we can use when something comes up for us. And the Akashic Records, I found, was amazing tool to go into, to explore, receive guidance, insight, do lots of personal healing. As someone what I want to share is, as someone who has experienced a lot of painful trauma through growing up, which we all have. Mine stems back from generational as well, and culturally, which is coming up for a lot of people, is that I would do the work in the records, but I actually needed to have, I needed to do it with someone else. So the lone wolves, as some women identify with, is we're going to do it all alone, and we're going to be alone and do all that, is we actually need to come into relationship and connection with someone to see us and hear us, and to feel that vulnerable depth of all those emotions. And we necessarily, we don't need to do it by ourselves. And that is a trauma response, to do it on our own, to do it, the lone wolf way, forged through. So it's nice to come into community and do the healing in a group. And I've been exploring now, doing group healings in the Akashic Records, which we just experienced with Erica, which was so powerful.
Yeah.
So there's so much power in the records.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so what are you seeing about the idea, you said, to awakening to your divinity through your records? What does that mean? How do you see that?
How I see that is, I see how life has imprinted all these experiences in us, on our field, within our physical body that we're holding and carrying. And those imprints affect our energy, how we show up, how we shine our light, how we express ourselves, our full expression. And so then we disconnect further and further from our own divinity. And I learned a while ago that our first disconnection from source, or when we come out of the womb, we disconnect from our mom, and then we're always searching for this connection, and we always look outwardly, when really the connection really needs to come back to our own self and remember our own divinity. And I feel like when we go into the records and we clear all the imprints and the shock of the injuries and the trauma, we get closer and closer to our divinity. And we remember, like, we reclaim our energy, we reclaim that light, we reclaim our gifts, we reclaim all of that source, and we reclaim that we are divine love, like we are connected to the divine above and below us, and that we become this channel of divinity that's walking on this earth. And so it's beautiful to witness the divinity that comes through as people are remembering this. And what I was being shown in the records was to reclaim our keys of sovereignty, our keys of divinity, our keys of integrity, everything that was that has been interfered with, as we have been so interfered with from the moment of birth. It's come in, we've been interfered with our light, our personal power. And this is where we get that searching, that we're always searching outwardly for the partner, the job, we're filling ourselves up with food or substance, some kind of addiction to fill that emptiness. But it's in coming back into that fullness of connecting to the divinity, then we become this full vessel, this full sacred being that's walking this earth. And it just feels so divine. And so that's one piece that I love, helping folks remember their divine nature. And this was something that was coming down specific for me that I love sharing. And of course, I had to remember my own divine nature, which, I was someone that looked outside, and I filled myself with all these courses and everything to, fulfill that piece. But it was really just the homecoming that I received by remembering who I really am, the truth and light and love of who I am in the records.
Yeah. Sarah said she's held back by fear in doing her work due to being killed in previous lives for similar work and sharing prophetic visions. And I was talking about that in the beginning. This is a common thing, right? Is that you might not even have that level of awareness. Oh, I was burned at the stake. You may just be awakening, or like you said, feeling called back to your truth, to your unique vibration, that divinity, and find this resistance or fear of something happening and you don't know what. So I found that I would get the muscles in my neck would go like this, like something was going to come get me from behind, like, I'd be like, why am I doing this? And so those patterns can show up. What have you seen in terms of, because it sounds wonderful, right? When we say like, reconnect to your powers and know your divinity and love yourself. And we all know that's what we want, and we know it's wonderful, and we've had moments of that. But so what are some of the things that you find in maybe some stories you have of how people kind of decode their life experience and find their way back to that without being stopped by that fear?
Yeah, that's a good question, and so many layers to it. So I hope I can answer it, and I hope I could stay on track, because my mind is already going to different things. So what I love to remind people is that the pains or the traumas or the shocks that we've had growing up, that those are the stepping stones that really connect us to our purpose. And what I like to remind people is that we have lived in a world, a society that has really supported this victim consciousness, this victim mentality, this victim consciousness, and I lived in that for a long time, and it was amazing that our paths do become our purpose. And once I allow people to remember that we have been imprinted with this victim consciousness mentality and wounding, that is a way to keep us also down so we don't rise. It also is a way to keep us kind of stuck in that pool of like low vibrating emotions and experiences, and then people never really rise up. And so I remind them that, you know, clearing victim mentalities, victim beliefs, and consciousness can really help with rising to the light and into their power. And so that is a really big piece that comes up. And then I always remind people that our stories of what happened to us, if we look back at them, they shape our purpose. We have wisdom that we can pull from each of those stories. And I'm a not walking example of it. Like, I was a poor me, crybaby, story, like everything like that. And I love that I had to go through it because it gave me my power. There was so much wisdom in understanding that piece of myself. And so now I'm like, oh yeah, we need to really pull people out of this victim pool that people have locked themselves into or believing themselves into, and know that there is another way. So I feel like even sharing my story, the consciousness of it is healing, and people remember in the hearing of that and knowing, oh yes, because on a soul level, we recognize that that's not who we are. Like, we're this being of divinity that is walking this earth meant to do amazing things. We have these gifts and talents and the purpose. We know that it's just covered up with so much stuff. So I feel just sharing the story starts, the energy already is working and unwinding, and we're going to receive a lot of that through this time, like through the time that or the space that you've created here, Nan.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I've answered the question, but that was something that came up.
Yeah. Irina said she just had a treatment with you a few days ago and opened the dramatic loss that I thought was healed, but it wasn't. Thanks to Shelley, I'm working through it. Lots of gratitude and much love. Yeah, and that's part of it too, is I think maybe Erica mentioned it, is to get out of the mindset that says we have to fix everything, or we do it once and it's over. Oh, it came back, I must have done something wrong. It's not. It's like the layer thing, but it's also just like being on the path, right? And you want to know if that trauma is still in you. You don't want to be like, oh no, why is this back again?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. What I've realized, Nan, is that we are actually afraid to feel those feelings. And me, I run the wiring of the emotional intelligence specialist, and I learned that emotions, they just want to be felt, they want to be acknowledged, and I really allow myself to sit with the clients to really feel the emotions in their body, because they just want to be felt. And that's one of the things that we resist, is sitting and feeling. I have a lot of clients that don't want to. And so we use spiritual bypassing. And I was a spiritual bypasser. I journaled, meditated, did all the affirmations to kind of get to the top of the cherry, the nice whipping cream on top, but all this other stuff on the bottom was still there. And I just did not want to feel it because it was so uncomfortable. But this is where we do the work with someone, where we sit together and we feel, the abandonment or disappointment or the separation or that loneliness or the, whatever it is, that core wounding. And someone sits with us and they hold our hand And then we get through it, and it's like, wow, like I have this like amazing peace within my body. My mind feels peaceful. My emotional body feels like, oh, that wasn't so bad. I could get through it. And so, and these are pieces too that I like to rewire in the Akashic records, because then we remember that we're safe to hold this new way of being. We're
Yeah.
safe to hold this new, and we are walking on this earth. We are physical bodies, you know, we are spirit in a physical body. So we want to be grounded in our bodies. We want to feel safe. We want to feel rooted. We want our nervous system to feel solid in walking here. And so, because we can't live up in our head, we're here, we got to do earthly things, we got to work, we got to take care of the house, we got to, you know, wash the dishes, we got to, you know, take the kids to school, make lunches, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, we want to feel like we are safe to walk on this planet, and that is a first chakra principle of like being safe here in our bodies and on the planet, and that we belong.
Yeah. And most people haven't felt safe for obvious reasons for many, many, many thousands of years, right? And not being safe to be in your body, and because of all the things we've done to each other, and all of that. Well, then this is a good concept. Expand on the idea that, so a lot of people think the Akashic records, okay, here's this library, or, you know, this cloud storage, and I can just go in there, look something up, okay, sort of, and it could be in your life. But the Akashic records, like, they're galactic, they're earth, they're everybody and everything and every time and place, and you don't want to know all that. However, the point isn't like, oh, what other past life did I have, or whatever thing did I have, but what is aligned for you at that time to help you understand. But there's also, you were talking about rewiring essentially, but that idea, there's also all the potentials, you know, the other way you could be experiencing the moment. So after someone has an experience in the Akashic records, it's very powerful in different ways, like your client was saying. But what do you see when you're able to rewire maybe a clearer connection to the release of that pattern, or to a new reality that they might start to move into?
Yeah. Well, calling it down into the cells and into the DNA, allowing the body to remember that it's safe to hold this new way of being, and asking and inviting people, what's the new identity that they want to hold and move forward with? Because we get so connected with this old identity of, this is who I was, this is who I am, I've had all this trauma, you know, and it's like, well, no, let's bring it into the new identity that we want to create in this moment. Like, who is she? Like, who is she? How is she being? So I love journaling and writing, and I've journaled and wrote since I was a teenager, because that's helped me process and create, and so it's like, well, what is this new identity that we get to step into? So it's also creation in process. And then I really love to anchor all of whatever work we did and the rewiring. I like to anchor it into the body. So we're really anchoring it down into the earth, into the mind, into our heart, the heart, the mind, into our nervous system. I like to do an anchoring in our nervous system. So our nervous system remembers, like, this is the new way that I want to operate. This is the new way that I want to carry myself. And then I like to do anchoring into the digestive system, because that's where we get all our belly stuff and our, like, you know, gut things. And so it feels safe to hold that identity in the belly. And then we can go into the earth star. And then I ask Mama Gaia to hold that new identity for us, so that we can walk this earth. And then, of course, after, we close the records, there's the humanness action steps that we need to take. We need to be, we need to take the action steps, because we can't just let, spirit and just leave it all like that. We do have to come into, okay, what are the things that I have to create? And this is where I find people need a little bit of discipline with and accountability, because we can get lost in taking the next step or the next 5 step, because there's so much interference around us and we get lost in the noise. So, so I like to invite people to, sometimes we need to pull back from all the noise that's bombarding us, because it is meant to interfere us, to keep us off of our path.
Yeah. Well, and Julie said, like, if you have a lot of childhood trauma, and your parents feel at 50 should disappear, they don't want to help you help yourself. I think there's more to ask about that situation specifically, but the idea of any kind of trauma, right, or shock that we carry in the system being a perspective, right? And what do you see when it comes into being attached to somebody helping you, like they should, or I need, that kind of thing? Because I know that that's holds people back.
I'm not sure what you're asking. Can you reword
Well,
that?
she was saying that her parents don't want to help herself. And what we've been talking about a lot is that we're stepping into being ourselves, not having to rely on people outside of us, not wanting somebody, whether they were a part of the trauma or not, to be the solution, because it just holds you back, waiting for someone else, right?
Yes.
To do their part, or to do what you want them to do.
Yeah. So I can speak to that on that piece for my own personal experiences. We can't wait for anyone to show up. We really have to show up for ourselves. And the work that I've done, I do not, I talk to my mom and dad, we're on good relations. There's lots of healing that's happened. Is we have to lead ourselves to do the work. And when we energetically clear all that noise and the shock within, and those imprints, the shock imprints, magically, energetically, it ripples out into all of our relationships. We see our mothers differently, we see our fathers differently, and we have different conversations to them. And we also respond differently to situations. So once we clear that imprint from our field, from the chakras, from the mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, then we respond differently, like we'll show up differently. And so we just have to lead ourselves to do the work. And when we come into right relationship with ourselves, and when we come into right relationship with the event or whatever had happened with us, that experience, we can then talk about it in a different way. And then we will actually affect the way that we go and talk to our mother, our father, or whoever it was, if we need to go there. So don't wait for anyone. Just go and look for what you need. If something's pulling you, has your attention, that, oh, I need to look here. This is something that I know that will benefit me. That's where you need to step into and go towards, because that's your soul calling you to step forward into that's what you need, that medicine.
Well, and seeing one way is one of the programming we're getting out of, like, this is the way that the money has to come to me, right? And the Akashic Records, one of the fun things is it shows you that there's a million options and possibilities, that you in your 3D mind are stuck on this one thing, like, I need it from here. But if you relax that of, okay, why isn't it happening, or need it to happen, into many more possibilities. So, well, one of your clients asked if you could do an Earth star clearing. So would you, or what else do you feel to do for us, as we got about 5 more minutes, so
Yeah. Well, we could do, well, I could take you through a quick connection, and I'll just see what comes through, because I did open up this space to be connected with all here. So yes, sure. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, close your outer eyes, and just drop into your heart. You may put your hand on your heart if that feels good. Just connecting you to your own heart space. Just giving gratitude for yourself for showing up today to receive all of the energies, the wisdom from all the beautiful ladies. Giving yourself gratitude to connect more deeper with your own self, coming into right relationship. And just imagine yourself connecting down deeper with Mama Gaia. So you may envision this with a cord from your own heart. And we're going to connect actually 3 ways. Just imagine a cord from your own heart connecting down through your body, down through your seat, your home, down through all the layers of the earth, going down, down, down until you see or sense or feel the beautiful gold crystalline core, the heart center of Mama Gaia. Connecting heart to heart, just feeling your heart connect into her heart space. Just taking a breath into that. Good. And then just imagine with your physical feet, feeling your physical feet on the ground, on the floor. Just imagine energetic roots from your own feet extending down through your home. Energetic roots going down deep through the earth, and imagine them anchoring down and wide, connecting into the abundance of the earth. Beautiful. Just feel that abundance that is there for you. And then also, I invite you to bring your awareness into your physical spine, the back of the body, the brain stem, the skull, your spine, your seat, your perineum. Just bringing awareness into the spine. And just with your imagination and intention, our powerful intention, imagine your spine extending down through your seat, through your own perineum, down the floor, going down into the layers of the earth. Extending this energetic spine into the earth, connecting into Mama Gaia, down into the earth, sinking your energetic spine into the earth. You may feel your body move back as you create this connection. Just allowing your energetic spine, we're going to ask with intention, Mama Gaia to cleanse and clear our energetic spine. Allowing it to ground into the earth, into her wisdom, her beauty, her abundance, her strength, her healing. And so just with your awareness, knowing that you are rooted with your spine, your energetic spine, into the earth, connected heart to heart, feeling the beat of Mother Earth, feeling that deep love and that connection to her heart. And feeling your own feet, your own energetic roots, deeply grounding into the earth, connecting in with her abundance. Just notice how that feels, allowing yourself to receive all of this abundance, this love, this beauty. And just in this space, we're going to imagine, speaking of the Earth Star, just imagine 12 inches, 14 below your physical feet, roughly around there. Not exact, but your own Earth Star, your own Earth Star chakra. And just allow yourself to connect into your own Earth Star. Any way that this is going to show up for you, just trust what you see. We're all carrying each other in this group, in this energetic container. Just allow yourself to ground into your very own Earth Star. And so what is coming up for me as we're talking about abundance and 3D, where a lot of people get stuck in, is I'm going to ask the wisdom keepers to please clear the energetic hooks and cords into the 3D matrix of scarcity, lack, and limitation. Just clearing and unhooking from the 3D energetic hooks and cords of victimhood, victim consciousness, victim mentality. Just unhooking and unplugging. Taking a nice big deep breath, breathing into your heart, and just releasing with breath on the exhale, just releasing all that no longer serves. Those are heavy energies. Those are dualistic energies that we get trapped in. This dualistic paradigm that we are in between wealth and prosperity, abundance and wealth, scarcity, lack, limitation. Just clearing any oaths or vows or contracts that you made to be plugged into this, to honor this, to be loyal to this. So clearing and dissolving, transmuting all of those to the light now. Just breathing in love and grace and compassion for yourself. And just exhaling on the out breath. Releasing, allowing that to be released and go. And then in this moment, calling back your own key to your own divinity. So you may see this coming in. You may even feel yourself with your physical hand pull this back into yourself, your own keys of divinity and sovereignty. Reclaiming. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, people are going to want to repeat that for sure. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. So much. I think everybody, you want to make sure to get Shelley's gift, and we have the links to find her at shelleytomelin.com. And wow, I think everyone's just floating around and they're saying thank you so much. But is there anything else you want to share as we close? I love this because our next speaker is coming to talk to us about the soul of our business and the prosperity. So you're clearing scarcity beliefs while we're bringing in some prosperity learnings, and it's just also aligned.
Beautiful. No, it feels good. I'm just going to ground that into the earth for everyone. Just imagine that coming down to hold that key of divinity, your keys of sovereignty, keys of prosperity. And I love the group work because we amplify the energy so much. So thank you, Nan, for hosting this. Thank you for letting me be a part of this. This was a full body yes for me when I saw this. And so I'm so glad this worked out.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for showing up to help us. I always love it, this piece is moving around and I got to meet some new people like you. So, oh, big hug, sweetie. Lots of love. Everybody's just sending you so much love and so much gratitude. So let's just all share that around in the circle and send Shelley a huge hug. And let it expand out to all of us. Thank you so much. Namaste. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.